Hello, everyone. My name is Cindy Xin. I'm the Quality Engineer Manager at Gumtree, not the CTO. So for today, I'd like to talk about the Gumtree Bidirectional transformation journey, how we conduct changes in both developer side and the QA side, and break silos. Eventually, developer is doing testing, and the QA is doing development work. I will try to talk faster so we can finish early to get the coffee break, but unfortunately, I'm not a fast talker, so please bear with me. Okay. Before I jump into the details, I'd like to give you the overview of our transformation journey. We started with preparation in the end of 2015, and then in the middle of 2016, we rolled out the process across the whole team. Starting from early this year, the one-team culture starts forming. During the transformation journey, our release frequency was improved about 10 to 15 times, and we changed the way from detecting bugs to preventing bugs, and reduced a lot of rework. Okay. In the end of 2015, so that time, we had clear developer and QA role in the Agile team, and therefore handover culture. Developer only focused on development work, and QA only took care of testing and automation implementation. Does that sound familiar to you? I'd like to do a quick poll here. So hands up if your team is in similar situation. Thanks. Hands up if your team used to be in similar situation or in the middle. Thanks. About half. So for me, I do expect more companies are either in the journey or have gone through the journey. With DevOps getting more popular in recent years, the urge and the needs to start the transformation become stronger and stronger. So for us, what's our motivation? Why we want to start the transformation? As I just mentioned about DevOps, you may expect to see this diagram or deliver quality at speed. Definitely. As we moved into the DevOps world and embrace the lean build, measure, learn model, we would like it to roll out features quickly on production and learn about our customers and build the feature they want. However, back to that time, our release frequency was about 1 to 3 times per week. That wasn't good enough. We needed to break silos and move faster. However, the real trigger to start the transformation was actually commitment. For the people you just put your hands up for not yet starting the transformation journey, you probably are waiting for a trigger as well. So for us, back to that time, there are one metrics we tracked, was say-do ratio. So as technology team, our major responsibility is to deliver business projects and enable business growth. We make commitment when the features could be rolled out on production, and we would like to fulfill our commitment. But very often, we found the features, they were delayed to roll out on production. That's because developers, they didn't know how long it took for testing, and for QA, they didn't know how many bugs might be found and how long it might take to fix these bugs. To solve this problem, we realized developers, they need to take the ownership of testing. We needed to shift testing left. Change the way of working is hard. Right? So we decided to start with some preparation and run some experimentation first. As developers, they got impacted the most. So following the golden circle approach, if you'd like people to buy your product or buy in your idea, we need to start with the core question, why? Let developers understand why we need to shift testing left, change their mindset. So we did some talks, knowledge sharing, and also worked together with some developer to try out the new process. The talks didn't go well because the developers, they didn't understand. They were already super busy with the test schedule. Why they need to do more? And that could speed up the delivery. So we invited the developer who tried out the new process to share their thoughts. That went surprisingly well. So these developers, they didn't talk about the theory or concept like what we did. Instead, they talked about their true experience and feeling regarding the change, what they learned about testing, and how they realized they need to think about testing before development work, and how that helped to build the quality in and reduce the effort in later stage. Developers, they were more convinced now when they heard the voice from one of their own. We also got some feedback regarding how the new process could be improved. So we took the advice and got the verified new process. And these pioneer developers, they start to work as, to act as the voice of quality in the team and coach the other developers for testing and automation. So they are the key to make the transformation journey success. During the experiment, one of the developers' biggest concern was they didn't feel confident for their testing. And they didn't think they can get the skills and become master overnight. So we tried many ways and approach to coach developers for testing, and also worked out some tools to help developers build their confidence. We did knowledge sharing, workshop, peer testing, and also group testing. And also we enhanced our automation tools to let the automation tasks run in both local dev and queue environments. Among all the things we did, the two things highlighted here, they went hand by hand and worked well for us. We created a test plan mind map. Here, you should get some general idea. It's a tool to help a developer to create a test plan. You can think it as a question checklist, which developer can go through one by one when they create test plan. With this test, so as you can see, the questions here, they mainly covered two types of tests, business-facing tests and technology-facing tests. So these were inspired by Lisa Crispin's Agile testing quadrants. With this testing plan mind map and some test plan examples, developers were able to create test plan now. Then the next step will be practice and practice. Right? As we all know, repetition and practice are the prerequisites to mastery. So for QA, how we can coach developers over practice? We achieved that through test plan and test results review. So for developers, they put their test plan and test results in Jira ticket. And for QA, we will go and review their test plan, do some explore testing to verify the results, and also provide feedback. So in this way, developers, they were able to know what were missed and what to improve next time. Still, our lovely direct developers, they asked me, what will QA do if we do testing? And our lovely direct QA member, they asked me, What will we do if developer does testing? Apparently, the QA members, they were worried about their job security. So this is something we need to figure out. Despite of figuring out QA's next step, we decided to roll out the new process in the middle of 2016. When we did the new process experiment, we named it as Gumtree Code Quality Academy. As you can see, this is a learning journey. So by coaching developer to do testing, bring testing into development phase, build quality in, we changed the way from detecting bugs to preventing bugs. And also we create a culture that quality is everyone's responsibility. So the team, they were all committed to do this together. Actually, the request to roll out the new process across team were from some tech lead, because they saw how it worked and they knew the benefit. We also managed to figure out what QA should do to deliver the best value to the team and to the business, and also benefit for QA's future career path. We rebranded ourselves as QE, Quality Engineer, and rescoped our responsibility. Our vision is to be like Q. You know the Q in James Bond movie? He empowers James Bond to feel confident when James Bond executes his missions. So similarly, we would like to empower our developer to feel confident when they are on their mission, which is delivering feature on production. We clarified our scope is to provide services, automation tools and framework, and also non-functional testing support. For services, we review test plan, do explorer testing, and also work together with PM and developer to identify risks. We also shift effort on automation tools and the framework, provide automation guideline to the developers, research new automation approach, resolve automation challenges, which bring by new technology. Besides all this, we would like to expand our expertise into non-functional testing areas as well, such as code quality, site speed testing, and security testing. The vision was great, right? However, the reality was our QA members, they didn't have any experience with building automation tools or framework, not even mention the non-functional testing. They only had some experience to implement the automation using provided API or web automation framework. That's it. There was a big gap between, based on our QA skill set comparing what we would like to do. Even though there are so many recommendations why the company, they should upscaling existing employee rather than hiring, such as foster learning culture, cost of recruitment, retention. But the fact is, in Australia, almost half of the business, they would rather hire talent than train existing employees. And ironically, 70% of them find it difficult to hire workers with the special skills needed. This is according to a new study from TIFF in May this year. Apparently, simply turning over staff is not the answer. And the deeper question is, do we truly believe in people's potential? Believe people can grow with proper training and support provided? Last but not least, these Q members, they have incredible domain knowledge and testing expertise, which the company probably doesn't want to lose. So for us, with the support from senior leaders in Gumtree, we decided to upskill our QA members. While the transformation was in progress, we got some complaints from the business saying that the quality was getting worse. Luckily, this time I wasn't alone. So the developer, they quickly stepped up and mentioned, as a team, we share the quality responsibility. So this is a big one already. When we look into the examples, there were many reasons, but this one could be the fundamental one. Business risk due to IT were not clearly identified and communicated. In the other way, IT didn't clearly know the potential business impact for each feature and application. So we need to identify the scenarios which impact the core business metrics, and also set up the commonly shared vision on quality and risk acceptance level. So in that way, we can move fast, but not hurt the core business metrics. We defined the priority 1 scenario list and signed off by each department. Also, we clarified the definition for production bug priority and the service level agreement. So in this way, everyone is on the same page, what's the priority, and when the issue could be fixed when one production issue is reported. So by the end of 2017, we no longer had testing in our Jira board. As you may know, the column in Jira board represents the stage or phase of your project workflow. So one less column means less handover, less waiting time, and you are moving faster. For developers, now they not only took care of development work, but also testing. For QA, they become quality engineer and challenge themselves on automation tools and non-functional testing. Starting from early this year, we start to notice some big difference. Some tech lead and developer, they came to me and asked whether it's okay to have some QE to join them for feature development work. And also, I start to receive feedback that from developer mentioning that some QE's code were super good, neat and clean. This is the feedback quite different from the feedback I got before. Previously, the feedback I got about the QE members, they were most likely, oh, this QE members is super responsible and worked really hard. But now, all has changed. And meanwhile, the QE, they often called out some developers, they did amazing testing and contribute on automation. So this could be the signals that the developer and QE, they start to truly work as one team. With invest on automation and upscaling QE, we are able to work smart now. More automation tasks and automation tools are added into the continuous integration pipeline to provide feedback. So this is our automation landscape. So previously, we only had a few of them. But now, as you can see, the automation task covers different layers, from unit testing to integration testing to end-to-end testing. And also covers from different aspects, from code quality to functional testing to speed testing and security testing. So these automation tasks make us feel confident and release us from repetitive work and focus on what human being can do the best. DevOps is not only about automation. It's also about people and culture. How we can change the way we used to work, expedite the process. We can go beyond automation. So we leverage release strategy such as A/B testing, feature toggle, canary release, together with the monitoring and alerting to keep close eyes on the releases, to control and mitigate the risks. And also, automation shouldn't be limited to testing or deployment. It could be anywhere. During the transformation journey, QE's vision is to empower developers to feel confident. So a lot of good ideas were brought up to improve the engineering productivity and the communication. And the best part was these ideas were not only brought up, but also implemented, because we got the skills now. So this is the one example. It's also the one we built the first to improve productivity and the communication. And we couldn't stop since then. This is a QE bot service. We integrated with Slack. So for developer, if they have some common questions to QA, they can just go to Slack and ask a QE bot. They will get the answer immediately, and that's 24/7 hour support. Our developers, they love teasing the QE bot. So many other services are built as well. That's a long list. If you are interested, we can chat about offline. Like I mentioned, QE started to take some development work, but that comes from a long journey since we started to upskill QE. Back to that time, developers, they provided support to do code review for our automation changes. So in this way, developers, they can gain insight for automation tasks and automation tool. And QE, we can learn more programming skills from developer. During the process, reputation is built. So developers, they know QE can code now. So that's why they come and ask when the development work becomes bottleneck. And for QE, we would love to join the feature developer because we want to know what the application does and how the application does. And in this way, we can do better testing and do better automation. As you can see, at the beginning, the code review for pull requests had many conversations. And this is one true comment from our developer. I haven't seen such old style code in 10 years. But now, the code review process for pull requests is usually very simple, and the comments usually looks good. So for me, I'm super proud of QE that made such big improvement and proved they can grow. So as of now, some Agile teams, they no longer have quality engineer, and some teams, they still have quality engineer, but that quality engineer could spend 50% on testing and automation, and 50% on development work. So for developers, they do development work, testing, automation, and for QE, we do testing, automation, and development. As you can see, the tasks are the same, just with different order, different priority. So the role in the job title doesn't really matter anymore. Developer and QA, they start to truly work as one team. And I no longer got the question like, what will QA do if we do testing? And what will we do if developer does testing? When I look at back and the journey, I realized it implies 3 ways DevOps principle and guideline as well. So the first way flow. We identified the barrier between developer and QA and started the transformation journey to make the flow faster. We learned to set up commonly shared vision on risk and quality, so we can deliver fast without hurting the core business metrics. The second way, feedback. We learned to work smart, leverage automation to provide fast feedback, and leverage release strategy to mitigate risk. And also automation could be anywhere, and it shouldn't be only used for engineer work, but also for communication. The third way, continuous learning. To form the learning culture, we learned to empower rather than enforce. So let the developer figure out what's in it for them. And then they would not only follow the change, but advocate the change. We also learned truly believe in people's potential. You'll be surprised how much they can deliver and how fast they can grow. When the silos were broken down, it's become natural that the engineers, they start to work closer, broaden their knowledge in the other areas. So everyone in the technology team, they start to truly click as one team and win. So as Eric, the raving madman in the Phoenix project mentioned, our journey to date is just a tip of iceberg. The continuous experimentation and learning will only continue. That's it. Thanks.